Hello, my beautiful girls. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a shorter video, and I'm going to talk about how I got my vitality back and my optimal health and well-being back after being severely burnt out. And I hope that this can empower you to take that next step, or whether you're actively overworking right now or feeling stressed or burnt out right now, that you can at least listen to these things that I'm saying and maybe put it to practice. Maybe start putting those into your daily routines in order to feel better. I today have my latte. This is not a hot cocoa. This is a vanilla latte. And you guys, I love my vanilla lattes, and I'll tell you what I put in it. So it is instant decaf coffee. It is decaf coffee. It is 4 p.m. So I'm not going to be drinking any caffeine past like probably 12. And so it's instant decaf coffee. It's a little bit of lemon blossom honey. And I love honey. It's so good for you. Honey and date syrup are some of the best natural sweeteners you can possibly eat. And honey is great, has a bunch of antibacterial, antioxidant properties that help you build antibodies and protect your immune system. I love honey, and I will talk about it all day. It's so sweet. I remember getting honey ice cream with my grandparents when I was a little girl, and so I think part of it is the nostalgia for me too. But I put a little bit of that honey, and then this, I put a few drops of lavender extract. I got lavender extract from Whole Foods, the edible type of lavender extract, and it just makes this coffee smell absolutely delicious and taste good. I love lavender because my mom, when I was younger, she would always take these little lavender sleepy drops and she would put them on my pillow before I went to bed, and it just made me feel so good. It helped me go to sleep. And now I'm like literally tearing up thinking of cute little things from my childhood because they resonate with us. And also, you know how our hormones fluctuate throughout the month, and sometimes during the month I feel more sensitive, I feel more intuitive, more feely, and that's how I'm feeling right now. So maybe you're with me on that, but yes. So I also put in some vanilla unsweetened almond milk to this. I froth the vanilla almond milk in my coffee machine, and then I also added some stevia powder granules. Stevia comes from a little green leaf. We used to grow it in my little plant garden in my house, and it's super sweet. It's a phenomenal natural sweetener as well. That one's 0 calories. So I love the honey. The honey is a thick, rich sweetener, and the stevia is lighter. I like things really sweet, so add some of that. That is how I made my lavender latte today. And it's nice to have a warm hot drink, because when I drink warm hot drinks, I feel so good from the inside out, and then I feel like I'm in a more calm state. I can change the way that I speak depending on how I feel. If I'm in the mood when I'm convicted to talk about something, when I am feeling extremely passionate to get a point out there, that dark feminine energy comes out of me. And then when I feel relaxed, maybe after I've showered, done my routine, having hot coffee, like all of the things I just said I just did, and have now my coffee, I feel very relaxed. So that is the vibe that I'm feeling today. Okay, so what we're talking about today is vitality. One of the most precious things that you can conserve as a woman and embody as a woman is your vitality, because vitality goes beyond physical appearance. Vitality is strongly within. And when you have strong vitality within, it also radiates in your physical appearance naturally. So one thing I want to talk about, if you are feeling burnt out or stressed, is the number one first step that you can take is to acknowledge it, and also make that promise and commitment to yourself to do the steps to work on your vitality, to invest in your vitality. So that is saying right now, without a doubt, I am done being burnt out. I am done being this stressed and overworked. It doesn't make me feel good, and I am making the change now. I'm making the change here on out. 50% of healing from something, 50% of changing our beliefs is acknowledging how we feel now and acknowledging how we want to change. That's 50% of the equation. If you can do that, you're already halfway there. And I did this when I was really burnt out because it was actually overnight when I made the decision. I am done being burnt out, studying 10 plus hours a day. I am done feeling like an emotional roller coaster. I'm done feeling like a fragile piece of glass that is going to be triggered in any way because I'm so stressed, right? Almost numbed in a way with my how I felt too. So that was what I told myself is I am done. I am moving on. This is one chapter in my life and I'm on to the next chapter, and every chapter of the book makes the book complete. Okay? You can't, if you skip from chapter 1 and chapter 3, there's going to be a gap that doesn't make sense. Everything that happens in our life is like a series. It's like a chapters of a book. It's meant to happen. God put this in your life for a reason. God has your plan figured out. God has your purpose figured out. You just have to do the rowing. Okay, He's going to direct the boat, you row. Okay, you're the one pedaling through. And putting trust into that, putting trust into your purpose, putting trust into your future, putting trust into your lifestyle change and your vitality change, becoming this goddess consciousness and stepping into your goddess consciousness, that is putting trust into the process of change. And change is very good for many people. It's very good because we as humans, we get comfortable. We stay in the same place. And well, why? Because it's comfortable. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is the physical routine, okay? The physical routine that's gonna make you feel more vital. I'm gonna go into the physical, I'm gonna go into the mental, and the spiritual is also weaved into there. So the number one thing, I love this. I feel like this is something that has changed my life with my vitality, because when I was burnt out, something that I love to do is take a hot shower. I loved hot showers. I think women are very connected to water because water is a prime example of feminine energy. A rock is masculine energy. It's stable, it's structured, it holds up space, it can hold up things that you weigh on it, right? It's very strong and stable. Water is feminine energy, okay? Where it goes, it flows. And that is a prime example of this beautiful feminine energy that we have as women is we have this flexibility of our mind and of our being to exist in our body. And again, like I said at the beginning of the video, we feel different throughout the times, throughout the days and weeks during the month because our cycle is different. Okay, every single day when a man wakes up, he goes through a 24-hour cycle. Us women, it's a 30-day cycle. We have the follicular phase, the luteal phase, the menstrual phase, the ovulatory phase, everything. It changes. So we feel different, and because in our biology, our hormones are flexible like that, our mind also is flexible. Our feelings are also flexible. And I believe our life should be flexible too. We shouldn't say that we should stick ourselves into one strict schedule every single day because it doesn't align with our natural biology. Our natural biology is that flow, our hormonal changes throughout the 30-day cycle that we have. That is natural biology of a woman. Our brains and our schedule for work should be able to fit that because we're not going to feel the same waking up every day. We're not going to be the same stable minded or same stable feeling individual that men wake up every single day. Okay, theirs fluctuates throughout the day. So what do I say with that? Well, part of why you might be burnt out is because you force yourself into a really strict, rigid schedule. And the problem with that is, like I was saying, it doesn't fit that natural flexibility that us women deserve to have, deserve to nourish. And so something that I love about the hot water and the shower routine specifically that I do is that it makes me feel very vital. So I'll tell you guys about that. I love taking long hot showers. I love it. I love the feeling of hot water on my skin. I feel like everyone does, but especially if you're a woman, if you're burnt out, overworked, that hot water can feel almost maternal. That hot water can be almost like a maternal love to us, okay? And when I was studying, when I was going through all this, I was in college. I didn't have my mom there. I was talking to my mom rarely, honestly, about the pain that I was going through and the burnout that I was going through. I didn't have that present and partly because I was choosing it, but also I wanted to grow independence from relying on anyone else. But this hot water is like a warmth and love that you can give yourself to nourish your core and make you feel more vital. Okay. And so something that I do after the shower now, after that I've taken a hot shower, I love my lotions and my oils routine. Okay, I will tell you what I have. I went a little bit this in the last video, but I love this Saltaire vanilla oil. It's saltwater vanilla. It has a very light, how would I describe this? It smells like Madagascar vanilla bean custard, or Madagascar vanilla bean hot honey drink. That's really what it smells like, with a little touch of sea salt. I love this Saltaire vanilla. It's not a fake vanilla. This is an expensive oil, and you can tell because of the way it really smells like true vanilla. So I love putting this on. And then I also like to do a lotion of some sort. I always put moisturizer on my face, and then I love to do a scented body butter. This is the Moonlight Glow Body Butter by Tree Hut, and I love it so much. It smells like, what does this one smell like? This to me just smells like a mermaid, like a sparkly purple mermaid, and I don't want that to confuse that it's way too sweet, because it's not, but it smells like a fruity deliciousness body butter, and it actually has magnesium in it, which is so amazing. Magnesium is the #1 vitamins that humans are deficient in. I try to take it every night, but I forget. I also have the strawberry magnesium drops. Magnesium L-theanine is the best kind that I heard, and that's what I have. I got it from Amazon. So that's what I use for that body butter. And then I usually always will put on my perfume. If it's nighttime, I won't, but I'll always put on my perfume. I'll do either a light glitter mist spray, or I'll do my I'm laughing because I forgot the name of this perfume in my last video, my last podcast, and I'm forgetting it again. Oh my gosh, I literally looked it up and write it on there. Okay, I'm gonna give myself a second to try to think about that. But I also have the Victoria's Secret Tea Sugar Fleur, and I have a few other scents, honestly, that I like to rotate. And then I use the natural deodorant. I also use this, I love this feminine oil. This is like a really like girl to girl thing, but I love this feminine oil. It's just amazing. It helps with ingrowns, and one smells like vanilla, one smells like strawberry. And I feel like women don't like use feminine oils, and I never heard anyone do it before I did. So I really want to hopefully influence you to start using this, because they smell amazing, and it's also really important to just hydrate every part of your body and keep your skin soft, keep your skin smooth, and stop the ingrowns. I do laser hair treatment, so it's the best investment I've ever made. And even if you do that or waxing, using the oils is very, very nice. So that is the physical routine as far as showering and stuff like that. Now, I am absolutely an advocate for putting yourself together, whatever makes you feel beautiful. Okay, so for that looks different on every woman. We all have different beauty standards for ourselves. You are the standard, you are the beauty standard, and you get to adjust that however you want. And that's the most amazing thing about being a woman, is your beauty standard is not going to match anyone else's, and you find your own styles that you love. Okay, I'm always wearing hoop earrings. I'm usually always wearing eyeliner because it makes me feel amazing, and I have this little nose ring. That's Sophia. Like, that's what screams Sophia to me, and it makes me feel good. And hopefully you can find that routine too. I'm also wearing this natural lipstick that my best friend got me. So good. I love this. She got this for me in Paris, and she showed the lady at the place a picture of me from my Instagram, and she was like, okay, this one's gonna fit Sophia the best, and picked out this beautiful color, and it has a little mirror, and has my name with a heart embroidered in it. Sophia with a heart. I'm just obsessed. How sweet. I love my female friendships. I really do. They're just incredible. I love you girls so much. So yes, another thing I want to talk about is you have to think of yourself and your body as as a palette, as an empty palette that we get to paint, we get to beautify however we want. Okay, women have been painting their faces and doing makeup for ages. Throughout our recorded history in ancient Greece and Egypt, women decorated their faces with paints. And they did this because they realized that that was part of a ritual for women. That was part of a ritual of divine femininity, is feeling that beauty from them. And this is how women developed this uniqueness too, that was so different than some men, for example, is that these women invented these beauty products, and they actually started using some pretty harsh powders and creams on the face that caused paralysis and other bad things. But since then, we have evolved. We've really studied makeup, and they found, of course, healthy makeup for our skin these days, which is so amazing. But that's a little side history fact. So now that I've had the physical vitality, I think now that you have your self-care, now that you have that wind down routine or get ready routine, right? Another thing that I will mention briefly is the physical health aspect. I fully believe that the way that we treat our bodies and the physical health we have is a big influencer of our vitality and our mood. This has been studied and proven by science that walking 30 minutes a day is going to add years to your lifespan, that doing a moderate exercise even a few days per week is going to make a huge difference in your longevity and the amount of years that you live, how you feel, and how your body appears. Okay, so find that fitness routine and have it be a non-negotiable. Have it be something that you do just to maintain your happiness and your health. And you should love the physical fitness that you do. It doesn't have to be weightlifting. It doesn't have to be some hard, high intensity interval training. It can be yoga. It can be Pilates. It can be walking. It can be biking. Anything, right? We all find what we like. And the most important thing is being consistently good over occasionally great. I fully believe that because that's what I live by, and I'm the example of that. I love weightlifting, so I do that. I love to pole dance, so I do that occasionally. And recently I've had the interest to try figure skating again because I used to do that as a little girl. And last night I was looking up figure skating videos and searching figure skating adult lessons near me for like an hour. Which is crazy, how random, right? But I feel like sometimes those thoughts that come to us, those desires for starting new passions, are there for a reason. So that is everything about our physical vitality. Now, another thing that I want to talk about with this inner vitality is that, like I said at the beginning of this video, you had to first make that choice that you want to change, that you want to improve your vitality, that you want to become the highest, most vibrant, radiant woman that is within you. And that woman is within you. It's within all of us. I think most all of us. And we have the choice to unleash that or to shut that down so far that eventually it disappears. So with the burnout, you get yourself in this path of possibly completely losing that radiance. And a lot of radiant women, beautiful, feminine, happy women, lose this radiance because of the work that they do, and they don't realize until it's too late, until it's 10, 20 years later at this job that has made them miserable, and they realize, I have completely lost my vibrance and I want to change. And you know what? Whether that be 10 or 20 years later, so be it, because the most important thing is that you recognize it. You recognize that you're not happy. You recognize you want to change. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter what time of life you are in. It happened for a reason. God designed it to be that way. And if you are at least coming to this consciousness, this queen consciousness, this goddess consciousness, you are realizing something huge that's going to turn your life around. That's what happened to me. I realized something huge after 8 months of burnout, and I would say years of very intense studying, because from high school and on, I finally had that awakening. That consciousness came out of me, and I realized what was truly important to me. And even my limiting beliefs tried to shut that down again, because I almost went back to studying for this test, and then I realized, no, I'm better than that. I do not put my control in the fears. I do not put my control in what I believe I have to be. I do not put my control in what I think society is going to deem me as valuable for, okay? What you do, what career you do as a woman, what you go after, it doesn't matter as long as you're fulfilled and you're happy. You get to choose that. That's inner vitality. You release the control and you go after your passions. Okay? Everything becomes easier when you decide you don't have to control everything. Think about that for a second. Okay, I remember one time my friend was in town and I wanted to take her to this restaurant that I love so much. I've been going there for years. It's this amazing Thai place. And she and I were hanging out, and I don't get to see her that often because she lives in a different part of Minnesota. And it was closed. This happened multiple times with people, honestly, with this restaurant, which is sad. But it's this amazing Thai place, and I love their Thai coconut curry. They're wizards, I swear. It's so good. But anyways, this place was closed. We went up to the door and I was really disappointed because I had it in my mind, we're going to this place. She's gonna try it. It's gonna be amazing. I realized in moments like that I had tried to control the situation. When I try to control the situation and it doesn't go how I want it to be, which in life, things are going to mess up. Things are going to disappoint you. Things are not going to turn out how you want them to. And releasing that control is the best thing you can do. Almost having this fun sort of light spontaneity in your heart to say, okay, this is how it is. Let's just go with it. Let's take the car for whatever it is swiveled to and just keep going with that in that direction and go fully. Okay. And we end up finding another great place to eat. This has happened multiple times with that restaurant type of thing, but it's releasing that control. Now, I don't think this is a negative thing to have some of that control, because in some of that control, it's just where we believe it's gonna make us happy. We believe that having things a certain way is gonna make us happy, and that's okay. But catching yourself is the most important thing, because you catching yourself shows that you have self-awareness, something that so many people in this world do not have. Oh my goodness, if you have self-awareness, you are above the 95% of the population. How beautiful, how amazing that you have that. How incredible that you have that wisdom, that you have this ability to look within yourself, past the ego, past the limiting beliefs, and to say, this is truly who I am. These are my flaws. This is where I messed up. I take full accountability for my mistakes. 95% of people can't do that, and they never will, because the ego's too big. The ego is too big. Okay, so now another thing with this emotional, and I would also say spiritual vitality, is connecting with this power outside of yourself. For me, it's God. My connection time with God is so important. God to me is when I'm in nature, because God created nature. God created me. God created my loved ones, the people that I love, and I feel connected to God through them, through nature, and through meditation and prayer specifically and especially. Okay, so I realized that I do a lot of work expressing myself to God. I do a lot of praying with God and journaling and asking God for wisdom, asking God for strength in situations when I need it, asking God for direction when I feel like I have no idea what to do. I have no idea how to beat my anxiety and my fear and my hurt and my pain. I always turn to God. And you know what's so beautiful is I remember listening to this one song. I don't want to make it public because it's very private to me, but it's a beautiful song by an artist that I love. I'll just say the name. I think her name is Jane Aiko, Jeneaiko. She makes very beautiful music, especially her older music, and there's this one that every time puts me in tears because I fully surrender, I fully let myself feel things, and that's something that I'm not always been good at, and still I'm actively very much working on, is getting good at expressing how I feel. It is a hard thing to express how you feel to other people. Now, again, like I said, I do this with God, I do this with journaling, and now my next step, I'm continuously working on this, is expressing how I feel, expressing how I feel with other people. So, how do we do this? Well, realize why you get fearful expressing your emotions to other people. A lot of time we have this need to feel fine or okay, or just perfect, secure condition, and that's just not realistic for humans because we all feel fluctuating emotions at times. Okay, I like to say I want to always be happy. I want to always be vibrant, even in hard situations. And despite that, I will still feel hard emotions, and you will too. Okay, so how do we express this to other people? Well, why do you feel that? The reason that I feel it, and this is actually a crazy realization that I really been thinking about, is the fact that when you are open to someone, you are fully vulnerable to them. They have an access to your emotions, your feelings, and your vulnerabilities. And that's a hard place to be in because people will turn against you and people will hurt you. And so when they know your soft spots, it is scary. It's really scary because it gives you less power and less control, and it gives them more power and more control. But there is certain people who it's good you have that feeling of hesitancy because you shouldn't give them your feelings. It's not safe to give them your feelings. It's not safe to tell them personal information about you, and it's not safe to be in that proximity. But with other people, there is a loving trust that they want to reciprocate with you, and you have to do that work to meet them halfway, okay? Think of one person who's always going the whole way, and the other person's way over here, not even touching their this line, right? This line to reach them. You need to have someone you fully trust, because when you do go halfway, which you will if you're with a fully trusting person, there's this mutual trust, this beautiful thing that will be the reason that you start trusting, okay? It will be the reason that you start opening up about how you feel and not hiding that all in, okay? So I do also believe that we all can find that person. It also starts with what we think of other people. If you're a woman and you hate men because you have an awful father figure or you've had a very bad experiences with men, those experiences are valid. Your upbringing is valid, but the way that you think is a choice. The way that you think, the way that you want to change is a choice. And it's hard, but it's possible. Okay, that's through years of therapy, that's through communicating with other people, and it's very possible to do that. Okay, that's a belief in your mind. And if you have this block from men, or let's say other women in general, or female connections in general as a woman, you are putting up a block that is preventing you from connecting with anyone, and you know at heart that that's what you're choosing, but you never will admit that, but it's true. And I was like this before, definitely with a certain demographic of people. And with that, it's just been working through that and feeling safe with someone who lets me open up, right? Because I've had bad experience with men, and when I say the certain demographic of people, I'm talking about men that I used to have that feeling towards, that very hesitancy to be fully vulnerable to. And healthy masculine energy will open you up to be vulnerable. It's really a beautiful thing. I think men have such opportunity there to make a woman feel safe and feel nurtured and feel comfortable in their presence, and some men do that and some don't, and the ones that do should really get a reward. So yes, that is everything I wanted to talk about with vitality. I hope that you ladies listen to this, and I hope that it can help you in a way. I really hope that you want to heal, you want to become that best version of yourself, you want to become the most vital and vibrant version of yourself, because she is there and she is within you, and all you have to do is do the work to bring her out, okay? Because she is living inside of you. We all have it. We all have that inner child in us that is just playful and fun and free, and we get to choose to bring that out. So I love you guys so much. Thank you all for being here, and I will see you in the next video.